So what of a reasoned and knowledge-based approach to God? Obviously, the idea of God, or gods, mixes in with spirituality and religion. But there is a subtle difference. We've discussed that religion is manifested by mankind and calls on God or gods and our own spirituality. We have seen that spirituality is itself the oneness and joy that our evolutionary past has developed along with other deep instinctive feelings. So why is God different? Do we not invent a God for the same reasons we believe in religion and feel spiritual? I'm not talking here of the man-made gods of the major religious faiths, but God as an eternal deity, a universal conscience, an energy that drives the formation of our lives. This is much harder to disprove. There are some fundamental questions that come about in our reasoned approach that open the door to this particular possibility. Firstly, what was there before the Big Bang? Where did all the energy come from? How did there become residual matter from which everything is made? That a higher, more powerful being or beings created this is certainly a possibility. The physical laws of the universe are such that everything has to be just right for us to exist. The laws have to be finely balanced so that stable structures can form. And these structures have to possess the ability to form carbon or some biologically useful material. And finally, we need an appropriate setting for the vital components to come together in the most appropriate way. Well, the abundance of hydrogen and helium and the four forces can explain quite a lot. But if any of these forces, gravity in particular, were a little bit weaker or stronger, then none of this would have happened. And we are talking differences of as little as 1%. The next problem comes with carbon. For carbon to manifest itself at the temperatures in the centre of stars, a freak accident has to occur with resonances at the atomic level. Instead of needing lots of energy to go up a very big hill, the hill temporarily disappears so that the atoms can reach the other side with less energy. It turns out that carbon has exactly the resonance needed for this to happen. It's a bit like landing on exactly the right radio station frequency when we randomly spin the dial. So imagine playing God and setting out to design a universe. You could settle on some basic laws and then turn some knobs to make the electrons a bit heavier, the nuclear strong force a bit stronger, and see what happens to your universe. If gravity was stronger, stars would burn faster, and life would not have the time to develop. Almost certainly, any changes to these dials would disrupt any chance of life as we know it. Maybe these forces are linked in an underlying way that forbids any changes at a level we do not currently understand. biggest fix-up job of all comes from one of the forces we know very little about. It turns out that dark energy, which accounts for a non-trivial 74% of the mass energy of the universe, has to equal 1 part in 120 powers of 10 less than its natural value. That's 10 with 120 zeros after it to 1. For the universe to exist as it does today. Well, that's the same odds as getting heads 400 times in a row with a coin flip. Then finally, we need to have a medium-sized star with a planet that stays within a distance that keeps water liquid for billions of years. This is not so much of a problem. There probably are billions out there in the universe, all with the potential for life. But obviously something is not quite right. What could have happened? Did something write the script for the universe? Did the scripts somehow, miraculously, write themselves? Is this the only drama being staged? Or is our universe just one of the many shows in town? We can take the first point here as being a god, a creator or a designer. We've sort of disproved with evolution the need for a designer god in the creation of life. But what about the universe and the tools of evolution? As intuitive and appealing as a maker is, opening up the concept of a supernatural designer brings along its own set of problems. Where did they come from? Where do they exist now? Why is there no evidence for their existence? It appears that the problem of creation just gets passed back to another creation place, and we are asked to settle for the answer, because it is so. And this is clearly unacceptable. However, evolution does open the door for another possibility. As we are capable of evolving to control our own planet, in the future this may extend to our solar system, and eventually to the galaxy and the universe itself. For an all-knowing, all-powerful God to exist, maybe we are part of that evolutionary path. Maybe God doesn't come at the beginning. Maybe He comes at the end.